let's just sew whatever. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be making the Soraya handbag from Rosa Patterns. I am so excited to have this little baby finished. It is such a cute, unique shape. I had a ton of fun cutting it out, sewing it up, and getting this made today. It has an interior divided section. So it's got two pockets here and then a zippered section. You can see there. There's two slip pockets on each side, and then the magnets close to that divided section. There's no fancy zipper pockets or anything like that. And honestly, the most complicated part is going to be riveting here. Those parts get riveted on, but I think it's such a fun shape. I love the way it turned out. I'm so happy to have it done. All of the materials that I used are from Mormino.com. I did use Wawak Pro Fuse Stiff for the shape because I'm out of Decaville Light and I have tons of that. And I'm actually happy with the way it turned out. So hope you enjoy this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe and grab the pattern. If you need help cutting it, I do have a cutting video on my channel that you can watch as well. Let's get into it. We are gonna go ahead and get started on making the Soraya handbag from Rosa Patterns. Super excited, a little disoriented. I have Dorothy here, I have Evermore, Still and Again. And we're gonna hope that this bag still comes together even though I cut the main pieces inverted. So let's get started with our connectors. We've got our double-sided tape attached. We also have our stabilizer connected, attached. So we're just gonna fold that into the center. And then we're going to top stitch this at 1/4 of an inch. Making sure that it is 3/4 of an inch wide. Yes. 1/4 of an inch. We're starting off strong, aren't we? Okay, I can't make sense of things. I've worn these too long today. Okay.
I want you to turn off the lights right here.
Can you get up and go do it, please? I'm like landlocked in.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, babe. So we're wrapping our vinyl around that stabilizer and continuing that fold in. And then she has you put a clip on the end where your stabilizer is so that you know without even thinking.
Is it okay if I turn off that light?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, not this one. You can't.
What?
I need this for filming. Okay. And then again, we can feel where that stabilizer is, add a clip, and we'll come back to it in a little bit. All right, so for the handles and crossbody, we are going to be working on those next. I decided to do double-sided straps, or double-sided handles, I should say. But again, none of it matters if I've cut my panels in the wrong direction. I'm a little stressed about it. We'll find out soon enough. It'll work or it won't. I'm guessing it won't. We're gonna fold these into the center, folding it onto the tape. And if you've never made double-sided straps before, you are essentially making a regular strap twice, but you're not folding it in half on itself. You're setting them on top of each other, hiding the folded raw edge. I'm gonna press that flat. And if you don't think your double-sided tape is as strong as you'd like it to be, or maybe your vinyl doesn't like double-sided tape, I would suggest working one side at a time. So I've got the back, and now I'm doing the top, and then I'll quickly put those together so that my tape doesn't pop open. You can also use a seam roller or just clip as you go. And then we're going to set these on top of each other. And I am going to use another piece of double-sided tape, but this time I'm just using 1/4 inch because I just don't want anything to move while I'm putting these together. I'm not looking for a permanent bond. I just don't want any shifting. And so we'll just carefully set that on top of one another. And then this we're going to top stitch all the way around at at 1/8 of an inch. And in the pattern, she has you put strap ends on. I don't want strap ends, so I'm just going to be extra careful with the way I'm top stitching. Just going nice and slow, making sure to start and stop in the right spots. And then I'm going to use my nice sharp scissors to cut the excess off.
Mom,
Nice and straight.
I'm about to keep exploring.
And then we're just repeating that on the other side. If you like the trick of a no raw end double-sided strap, you could also do that. But the raw end of the strap is inside the bag, so I just am not concerned with it. I was almost tempted to try to sew the bag by putting the handle in the top seam of the lining, but I just don't have any experience making this bag to know if I can make that change. So I won't. Not today. 1/4" tape down the center. And we'll line that up. And I am just taping a little bit at a time into place, creating a little guide between my hands. And then I'm gonna trim this really quick because they're uneven. But I know that I cut these a little bit longer, so it's not a huge deal. Wondered where that went. And then now that I have it top stitched, I'm doing that final trim, close but not too close to the edge. And that is our handle. And now we can do a crossbody strap. And I could have done a double-sided crossbody strap, but it takes twice as long to do that. So we'll just do this one. I did mark my center line. I'm folding the tape in. I like to start in the middle of the vinyl. And work my way out. And I'm not stretching too much as I go, as I am just like guiding and pressing. Otherwise, that's when you end up with twisting in your vinyl. I'm leaving a little tiny gap.
Mom,
Yeah, babe.
I ate all my chips. I want another one.
Another chip? How about you go get either the Teddy Grahams or...
Maybe later.
Okay. Leaving a little gap accounts for the bulk of the vinyl so that it can kind of stay true to size. So if you have a thinner vinyl or cork or fabric that you're using, that gap doesn't need to be big, but if you know you're using a thicker vinyl, like a 1mm maybe, then you'd leave a little bit more of a gap. And then I'm just gonna slowly fold this and top stitch. I used to prefer to tape my strap so that I knew the sides lined up. But I feel like I have enough practice now that I don't really need to do that. I just kind of create a strap attachment with my hands. I keep one next to the edge where it needs to be, and then this one is applying pressure while folding. And I'm pivoting and sewing around all 4 sides. Okay. And then we can grab our slide adjuster and attach our strap. You can rivet this or sew it down, but I would do at least 2 rows of stitching at the slide adjuster to help reinforce. When selling bags,
do you see her baby?
I do.
Her baby?
Yep.
Her baby.
Yep.
Look.
I see, baby. When I used to sell bags for profit, and that was my main source of income, I'd had bags returned to me because I didn't reinforce that area enough. So after you have that happen once, you do everything you can not to let it happen again. We'll slide this around. She makes her straps in the opposite direction where you kind of end. I don't know, it's just, that is a 1 inch, not a 3/4, so I'll fix that later. Not doing it right now. Okay, so we'll grab a 3/4 inch snap hook, we'll slide that around and then rivet or do another box stitch. Okay, so then she has you make your little packs of things. We can grab our bottom panel and purse feet and get that attached. I'm gonna measure 2.5 inches from the center and 1 inch up from the interfacing. And she has you add 4, but my preference is 5. So that is what I'm gonna do. I'll add 1 in the middle, 2 on the outsides.
Oh, this is the gooeyest spirit. They have a giant pool.
I love that she wants to share with me what she's watching. I try not to discourage it. All right, so I've created a little seam rip. Come on. And you want to put it in the same direction as your mark or the slit that you made, and then, oh goodness, turn it to tighten it in that hole. And then we'll press that flat, and then we'll add some duct tape. That's a good vinyl. Man, I can't get that in. And then just make sure that your prongs or screws or what have you are not in the way of any top stitching. Okay. So with that attached, we'll add the duct tape. Part of me really wants to kind of baste around the edge. I just love the look of a top stitched bottom, but I'm not gonna do it. Okay, nailed it. Just doing great, man. I'm adding duct tape over the prongs and the feet for 2 reasons. One, I don't want them to cut me later on. This isn't a turned bag, so it's not as big of an issue, but it'll also help prevent from it rubbing up against your lining fabrics as well. And then I kind of burnish it into place. And that is that ready. And then she has you work on your crossbody strap, adding your strap ends, and we will add our rivet holes for the straps. Okay. So we are measuring up in the center. And then we'll punch those holes. And we're not doing anything with those right now. That will be for later when we fully attach the handles. And that's when I'll kind of decide which side do I want the handle to be out. I might even flip it, since this is like an asymmetrical bag. It could be fun.
She was like, no one can start with the fucking chicken people.
Okay. That is done. Okay.
Ooh, black party! Ooh, black party!
I just really feel like this isn't going to work. Like, that's all there is to it. Whatever. Okay, so we're gonna install a nameplate on one side. And we're gonna kind of just measure in. And keep it flat with the bottom edge. And we will use some more duct tape on the back of this. Ooh, actually, I like to use a little bit of foam behind this. I forgot, it's been so long. I think it just gives it this beautiful little tuft action. Okay, there's that. And now we're gonna center the ruler between the gaps of the stabilizer pieces and draw a mark. Repeat the drawn marks for the remaining 3 corners. And you want to take your time with this. Okay. For the top 2, you're going to snip in a set amount. And for the bottom, just a little tiny bit. It's just funny because if it doesn't work, I don't have more of this blurple leopard.
A kid guy
Maybe I do.
said, I'm going to try to put it in my pocket.
Okay. At the bottom, measure and mark the center point between your 2 snips. And then we're going to measure to determine where our connector is going to go within that. We'll grab our D-rings, which are both 3/4, hopefully. And you want to think of each side, or I should say each straight edge, as its own straight edge. So they're like panels that came together, but you cut them together.
Oh, guess what? I believe. So it bubbles on your blood, and then it helps it, but it might stain a little.
Gotcha. Alrighty, there's that. And we're gonna add a little bit of tape up here as well. So then we're going to lay our connector in place. Oh, it could have been really fun.
I got these.
Give me one.
What?
You have to give me one. You have to give me one.
No. No.
Yeah, it would have been fun to cut one color and one the other. Folding that nicely. A little bit more at the top here. Love it. Okay, so now we want to measure 1 inch down from the folded end of the connector, and then we're going to top stitch it on using that 1 inch as our stopping point. And that's going to keep us away from the hardware. Thank you again to Janice for the Uniball Signo pen. It's beautiful, oh my gosh. It's a juicy pen. Okay. Pivoting. And then coming back to where I can be at that 1/8. And then if you would like, you could just sew over the bottom for extra reinforcement. We're going to come up. Pivot. And pivot. Also across the bottom. And then quickly wipe off any pen. All right, and then we're going to add a rivet just above the 1 inch. Install and set the rivet. Okay. Centered. And this is going to kind of evenly distribute the weight of that connector across the stitches and the rivet. And then you've got the stabilizer in there to help keep it together longer. We are not going to need our long rivets for this part. Any 9x9 or 9x8 will be fine. I sell 9x9 on my website. I don't generally use the 8 post. I think 9x9 is like the right, it's like the Goldilocks of rivets. It's just right. Sometimes you need 9x6. It all depends on how thick your materials are. And before you set those rivets, just make sure that your rivet dies are properly aligned so that you don't have a bent rivet. And then you don't need to crunch it so hard that your rivet dents or anything. You just need a gentle crunch. Okay. So now is the time to find out if this is going to be okay. I feel like yes, right? But yeah. So we're going to position the two main panels right sides together and make sure the curved top edges are positioned upwards. Double check they're positioned correctly. I mean, maybe. And then sew them together at 3/8 of an inch, which we can do. I'm going to bump my stitch length down to like a 4.5 because we are going to be butterflying this open I believe. We have 3/8 inch. So it's kind of like right next to, but not through, that stabilizer. Reinforce that stitching at the beginning and the end with a little back stitch. Okay. And then we're gonna do some 1/4 inch double-sided tape along either side and press it flat. She's watching Emily's Wonder Lab. She loves her. And I love that she loves her. All right, so we'll press this open. Yes, hello. What can I do for you now? And then top stitch it at 1/8 of an inch. At the very least, it's gorgeous. I don't think it's gonna be an issue. If you mess up my top stitching, if you're sitting, sit. And then I'm going to jump over. If you are a bit of a top stitch snob, no judgment, you may have wanted to increase your stitch length back to what it was previously. But my thread color is pretty close. So I'm not super concerned with it.
I ate all my cookies.
Okay, perfect. And then we're gonna do the opposite and do it again. If you don't have a seam guide and you are worried you can't keep it consistent enough, there is no shame in tracing your seam allowance to keep it as accurate as possible.
A kid said, "Look at what."
Pressing that as flat as possible. And then we're gonna top stitch. And then you can trim away a little bit in the end. Okay. I'm gonna start across the bottom. Thought my needle was in, it was not. It's okay. All right, going across the top, and then I'm resituating my foot. Okay. I mean, now it's fully covered in cat hair. Thank you so much, Evermore. You're so nice. Oh my God. So everything, I mean, it seems like it's gonna be okay. So trim the top seam allowance of each seam. Trim approximately 1/2 inch down and trim away as much as you can without cutting the top stitching, and then follow the curves. Run a strip of double-sided tape just above the edge of stabilizer. Just a little piece there. And I'm just leaving a trail from my roll of tape, and we're just going slow across the top edge. This could be one whole piece if you are skilled enough, but it's also okay to make it several pieces of tape. Check your top snips to ensure that they are 3/8 deep. Along the curved top edges, make 1/4 inch notches. All right, so just to be safe, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of give myself a little guide of 1/4 inch. Because if you go past it, you would be very sad. This is only a rough measurement. Measure and mark approximately 2 inches down from each of the 4 dips in the top edge. Okay, well that white line is not helpful there. And then again, that just rough case 1/4 inch. Just because you don't want to trim too much. But you do need to trim into that top edge, or the curves just aren't going to sit as well. So now we get to have some fun. And I'm just kind of zooming in so I can make sure that I'm marking those snips, because I'm like, so do I snip where I've cut into the valley? No, I don't. Just kind of take some teeth out here and there, making little triangles. This isn't necessarily a place where pinking shears is gonna work the same. It can work, It's just not quite the same. All right, so as I'm cutting those, just kind of pull them away. This is something that can be hard if you are someone who doesn't have great dexterity with scissors. The Kai Professional scissors can help with that. They have a little more heft to them, closing easier than the cheaper pairs of scissors. Just go along, kind of angling one way, angle the other, and then pull it away. If you are using a woven fabric for any of this, just be really careful that you aren't causing any runs in your fabric when you're pulling away the triangles. I am cutting away from my top stitch. This is only the top edge we're doing this to. I'm really glad that I created that little guide to know where 1/4 inch stops, because I'd probably go a little too far with these. What's wrong with you? That was weird. And just like with anything else, the more you do it, the better you could potentially get at it. I don't think it's a guarantee, I'll be honest with you. And I would say that if you don't use it, you lose it, feels pretty accurate for me lately. Okay. So, what are we going to do now, Alexis? This is only a rough estimate. Measure and mark. This step will feel a little weird. Using the gap and the stabilizer, fold the main panels right sides together and clip. So from the 2-inch mark and down to the bottom edge at 1/8, and ensure that we are catching the stabilizer. And then we're going to do that for all 3 sides. Okay, 1/8, starting there. It doesn't say to backstitch necessarily, but I'm imagining we'll want to. I would say just don't backstitch too crazy. so far, I think it's okay that I cut them inverted. I don't know, man. So I'm not backstitching on the clay vinyl. I'm gonna go ahead and tie that off just because you can, I don't know. It just feels right. I can't explain it. And then I think we are about to the point where we add our bottom panel. And this is where it's going to come in handy that we have our sides marked. Center one bottom short edge with the center of the connector, repeat. Okay. And then we'll staple. This is the bottom. I'm gonna fold this in half to find our side centers and snip that. I don't know if there's a way to really, well, I guess we could just do this to find this center, quote unquote. So we can find that, clip, clip, clip. Okay, well, I mean, I feel like it's coming together just fine. And we're just pinching the curve into place. And there's a lot of little things that could go wrong while we're doing this, so I am definitely going to staple. My vinyl is very soft and slippy. So I'd rather not allow that to be an issue, because I can control that by using the stapler. Yes. Okay. And we don't want to staple too far into our seam allowance. And depending on where you staple, you could potentially not even have to remove the staples. You could just trim it away. Well, I'll have to remove that one. I got a little crazy. And then to be even safer, we'll move the clips and then add a staple where the clip is. And just like the extra time we take here is less time we have to spend fighting the curve to stay together. All right, let's do this. So this is going to be 3/8. I mean, it seems so far so good. And just go slow. Make sure you're not grabbing those staples with your fingers. And then I'm pressing this open as I'm walking across the layers. Needle down and rearrange. We're getting to the other side of the curve. So we're just going to slowly kind of walk it around, moving the fabric as we go. And if you feel resistance, take a second to readjust where things are. Because it probably means it's hitting a part of your machine. Okay, and then I'm going to go around a little bit more, just slightly away from that seam allowance, just to help reinforce all of that. And then I've got my staple remover. Help yank those out. kind of looks like a dolphin. Okay, I feel very good about that. And so now we gotta take the time to remove these, but with the staple remover, it usually catches them and holds them. Maybe this one doesn't. And then I'll need to pick that up before little feet find it. If you have carpet, Godspeed. I don't know though, it's like perfect bottom or tiny cuts in your feet. I'm gonna say perfect bottom. To be honest though, I don't staple as often as I should. Usually it's because I'm in a hurry, but today I'm like, do it, just do it. Do it right, because you didn't cut it right. Probably, maybe. But yeah, you cannot leave the staples in the bag. That is a non-negotiable. One more. There we go. All right, and then we can trim this down just a wee bit. Oh, found a staple. All right, once that is done, we can turn the bag, pinch and shape the seams to mold the bag as needed. Do not worry if your stitches are visible. It will be hidden in time. Okay, well, it looks stunning. Goodness gracious me, oh my, oh my. Yeah, the seam is just inverted, so I think it's fine. So now begin at the seams of the main panels and fold over the top curved edges. Okay, this is really cool. Stick the raw edges down well, but the exterior up against the stabilizer edge. I just can't tell if it's too far down. Yeah, to have 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Okay, so it's not butted up to the edge then. There's a little gap, like by like 1/4 of an inch. which makes sense though because the bulk of the top edge is there. But like, it looks right to me. I guess it just goes right below that then. We'll figure it out if it's not right. All right, so I'm going to clip that as I go. And I'm just taping the edge of my fabric up to the edge of the tape in hopes that that is accurate. I mean, it would make sense that we couldn't go further with our clipping, because if we were going to go all the way around that, then we would have been able to do a 3/8 the whole way. So, yeah. Yeah. What's wrong?
When I was playing Minecraft the last time, I was on a little island and then I left because I had to.
And what about now?
I had to follow my heart.
Yeah. What about now?
I didn't want to.
Hmm.
And then we gotta travel all this sea.
That's what an explorer does. I had to follow my heart. I die. I just feel like the stabilizer should go all the way to the top edge. Again, unless I've done this wrong, which is a high chance. Very high chance I've done everything wrong in my life. I am very much enjoying the construction of this though. And it's like a very spacious interior so far. And I think it's cool that it's like completely divided with the way the interior comes together, which I am very excited to sew. And like there's no zipper pocket, so it's gonna be pretty quick. And you just wanna slowly pinch that down. Phew, my arms are killing me, man. Yeah, that seems right. Doing okay. All right, camera check. Went ahead and got that 3/4 inch snap hook before I move on so that I could finish the strap. And I'm just gonna stay consistent and do a box stitch. So that is done. I think with the feel of the bag, a daintier strap is going to be nice. Like, it just feels dainty. I don't know. Alrighty, so we're gonna grab a 10-inch zipper. Well, cut our zipper to 10 inches. Grab a zipper pull. I don't have magnetic snaps, damn. Divider exterior. This is so interesting. I'm really excited for this. Divider interior. All right, exterior. No, I will never get my life together. It's literally impossible. 1 1/4 up from the center. I was like, man, I don't want to figure out where the center is. Well, it's already done for us. And we are doing the male ends. That is the outie. This piece is already stabilized for us, so we don't need to worry about it. We're just gonna grab some washers. We're gonna need 2 right now, 2 more later. We'll grab our outies. Put these up here. I did make 2 bobbins for this bag. I have 3 total. I don't know if we'll really need 3 altogether, but never hurts to just start with more than you think you might need. Retrieve your magnetic snap washer, center the middle, and then secure with tape. Repeat for the second, and male. Male is the outie.
Mom,
Yeah.
where's D? This is my old sign.
That is so cool.
What's Alex?
You wanted to say Alex or you wanted to say Dorothy?
Alex's house.
Oh, okay. What letter do you need to start with?
Alex.
Okay.
A,
Okay. And what do you think was next?
space, space, space.
Why do you need the spaces?
Because Alex.
A-L.
So, hold on.
Okay.
L.
E.
Where's L? Right here.
Probably. I think you know what the L looks like pretty well.
Then
E.
X.
Mm-hmm.
House. Ha. 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 A.
H. Huh. H. Okay, let me know when you've got the H.
H, actually, space.
Okay, so next position your divider exteriors right side up on your workspace. From one side edge, measure and mark 2 inches on each divider.
I got and then what else?
O, U, and then the other 1.5. S.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. I'm holding. Like
O.
U.
Hold on.
Okay. All right.
Looking for the O.
Ah.
I got O.
U.
U.
S.
I don't know where U is.
Okay.
Is it U? So I don't know where it is.
I can't see. It's next to the Y.
And then
S.
S. That's it?
And then an E. House, I think.
That's house. Okay.
All right. So we've got that rounded off using some straight pins. Next, position your divider. Measure and mark. Measure and mark. Okay. I'm going to use tape. Some 1/8 inch
I'm
tape.
building a house
Awesome.
so I can sleep.
Good idea. Can I go to sleep?
Well, no.
Bummer. So this is going to go face down. We're going to start with that curved edge at the 1.5 mark. And then at the 2 inch mark, you'll taper the zipper down. So these should be mirror images of each other. Both have the same snap. Okay, retrieve your lining and clip the top straight edge to the zippered edge. Right sides are together. And then we're going to sew that at about 3/8. And then I'm not worried about taping this side because my zipper is pretty secure. Whatever seam allowance you're doing, just keep it consistent. And you're going from one side to the other and repeat that. Okay, and then we're going to we're not going to top stitch. Fold each away, do not top stitch. So I'm gonna press my lining up. I love using waterproof canvas light and Renew canvas. They hold a crease so well. You can see it's not going anywhere now that I've pressed that where I want it to go. Okay, so we're gonna put right sides together, clip, bottom. At the exterior, measure and mark 1 3/4. And this is where we are going to start and stop our sewing. And then keep your zipper tail inside. And exterior should be together, lining should be together. Okay. Yeah, it looks like this seam is flat. And you should not see your zipper tails hanging out. Tuck them back in. We're not doing that here. And whatever side that you made those marks to start and stop sewing, that should be face up for you. Okay. And then our lining, we're going to sew that all together. So if you want any kind of woven label inside of that lining piece, you would want to insert now. I think this So Cute label, like the color isn't perfect, but I think it kind of matches the vibe. And it's the first one I saw. So I'm just gonna eyeball the center. I'm actually going to offset it quite a bit so that if it's not perfectly center, like it's not so noticeable. That's what I like to do. Okay, get that in there. And then we are gonna sew that at 3/8. Yeah. Okay. 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 Yep. Here we go. Starting here. We are sewing to avoid our zipper, and we are not sewing those corners. We are pressing this flat. We're going to get our needle into the center of the exterior and the lining, and then we're going to pivot, making sure to completely avoid that zipper. And we are not sewing the squared bottom. And this feels like not what you're used to, because normally you would leave an opening in the lining, but this time we're leaving an opening in the exterior. So it's kind of like, what? Huh? Okay, pressing that flat in the middle and then pivot. I don't feel any zipper tape, so we are good to continue. And I am keeping my eye on the edge of my fabric and my seam allowance so that I can keep that consistent. And then we're going to stop, back stitch at the line we marked. Okay. And then we're going to square the bottom. Don't trim the hole and don't trim where it meets. Okay, got it. Okay, bottom. Okay, at the turn hole, make a right angle notch. Okay. All right, double-sided tape along here. So we can press that flat. So we're gonna top stitch this after. It's wild. All right, now I can square the bottoms. Three-eighths. In my mind, I just went back to me 8 years ago. Just making peekaboo bags all day. Convention prepping. Selling bags for a living. Oh, how I miss it. Okay, there's that. Who is texting me? And you want to make sure that that corner stays straight. Trim, remove the paper. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna press this seam into place. Okay, and then we're gonna turn it, tuck the divider lining into the exterior. Your divider turn hole will stay open. Press the divider lining away from the zipper, reach into the wrong side via the turn hole. Yep, the seam is laying flat. And then clip it and top stitch. Okay, all right. So we're not super worried about what the bottom looks like just yet. We just want to make sure that this top is all situated nicely.
Wow, you gotta hear this music.
Oh, what'd you find?
It's pretty. It's very pretty.
Oh,
You gotta hear it.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah, be careful.
you gotta hear it.
Okay,
Hear it.
okay. What is it?
It's Star Wars.
How did you find that?
It was this. It's this. The party. What are those little?
It's shaking because you were about to rearrange things. There you go. All right, so I'm gonna top stitch this.
How do you get rid of it?
Get rid
how
of
do you-
what?
Get rid of this.
What are you trying to do?
Like, I don't want to use it.
Well, then swipe up like that and get rid of it. Okay, top stitch. I think I'm just gonna top stitch it this way. We're gonna start in the seam, leaving long thread tails. Yeah, yeah. Okay. 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 Pulling my tails to the lining, and then I'm gonna stop there, and then pull that in as well. Goodness. Ooh, this is not what she explained. That's okay. I'll do it this way. So what I'm doing is I'm tying off my threads, and then I'm gonna grab my needle. And it's got a fairly large eye, so I can grab at least 2 threads at a time. Don't make me a liar. And I'm gonna just tuck that in the interior. And since we've got this open, I can carefully grab my needle. And then my threads are inside. Never to be seen or heard from again. So now kind of flatten this part back out. And let's see, I haven't added a zipper yet. We're gonna lay the top edge flat and align the side seams. Clip if need, and measure 1 inch from the side and down by 3/8 and make a mark. It's 1 inch. Bink. We're going to repeat that on both sides. Do not punch through your zipper tails. All right, punch in the hole, but we're not doing anything with that. That is good. I still see nowhere that it says to add our zipper or anything like that. I've got my lining kind of tucked up and out of the way from the exterior. And that is all that we have for now. That's gonna go inside the bag. Oh, it's coming together. Oh, goodness. So then we can grab everything that's left here. Magnets. We'll need 2 more washers. No, those. Okay. Okay, top trim. Measure. From the curved edge, a measurement. Okay, I can do that. Oh, that's a slick pen. Delicious. Okay. Made our marks. We're gonna grab our innie portion. Don't grab that. And you can leave the cover on or take it off. We're gonna press that into place. And then we'll cover that with tape. Okay, good to go for now. Super cute. Now we're gonna grab our main lining pieces. These are backing. I think this is fun because like you're just repeating on each side. It's gonna be cute. And it's so simple. Like, she really gave you a break here. She's like, okay, that was a lot going on. Let's just put some slip pockets in it. 3/8. Clip into the curves. Add the backing. Add the top. Great. She's like, no, you can have a break. It's okay. I'm gonna go down to a stitch length of 4 for my lining. That's also gonna help me go around these curves nicely. I just want to debulk that curve so the layers can sit nicely. I'm just kind of pressing all that together. You could iron if needed. And then we'll top stitch that and repeat on the other side. Yeah, babe. No, ma'am.
Maybe 6 hours.
Are you literally asking me right now if you can watch YouTube for just 6 hours? I know you have no concept of time, Dorothy, but 6 hours is basically your entire day. I'm gonna go ahead and close this off. And then we will baste this along the top. Dorothy, I already told you my answer. All right, we're back to these.
Where's E?
Why? Just swipe up. You don't need it. There you go. Did he fix it? snipping into those curves. I don't know what I have and haven't said. I left. She was about to throw a fit. And then Ben threw up. And then I was hungry. Then she was hungry. Then I had to pee. Did I say that? I don't know. So we're working on our curved edge here. Making sure we get that rolled over. Sitting nicely. Keep it flat. And then we'll top stitch. Oh my God. I just set the foot down on my finger, but luckily I'm fine. But yeah, at least the top stitch looks good. Ow, frick. Not too bad. All right, we're gonna put right sides together. Try these again for a little bit. Top trim 3/8. Trim it down. Okay. I just like vision is changing, and I think I'm so like in tune with some things that it feels like a big deal, and like I have seen this machine 700 times. Not really, it's way more than that, but you know, I've had 10 years of the same view, and then with the glasses it changes it, and I'm like, no, 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 that's not right. Then I can't read. Y'all get it. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Didn't quite catch this edge, so I'm just going over it again. And just top stitching that in place. Trim that little jump thread. There we go. If you wanted to add like a sew-in label, this would be a cute place to do it. But for now, we're gonna lay these in place. And sew that at 3/8. No more rainbow popcorn.
I'm hungry.
Go get some peanut butter crackers. Okay, repeating that. It didn't occur to me just now, but this is almost, it is in no way the same as the Hinterland from Lavender and Twine, but it has a very similar interior in that it's a magnet on either side and a zipper in the middle. That's literally the only coincidence. It's not a coincidence, but similarity. So that's kind of cool. All right, and then it says you can trim the top lining layer only to help reduce bulk. Take a strip of double-sided tape, stick it down well, and then top stitch the top trim lining. So the only thing I'm gonna do is a little Shannon bulk reduction to open up flat, and then I'm not worried about the other bulk. I just want to press that open flat like that. And then bump that stitch length back up to top stitch. If you know your machine gets a little finicky with bulk, the bulk reduction technique that she mentions, Alexis mentions in the pattern, is a great one. But it's not something that I feel like I need to do with these materials on my machine, and I like the feel of that edge with the bulk there. So it's really just personal preference and knowledge, what limited knowledge I have. We are really almost in the final stretch. This is exciting. Didn't think I'd get here today. Cut and sewn in the same day. Who am I? Oh, hello, Evermore. Please get off the fabric. Like, I feel like when Ben is up here, he's very respectful to like not super be all over the fabric, and she just has no respect. Can't get no respect at all. Okay, that is complete. So now we've repeated those steps. We are retrieving some clips and aligning the side seams where the top trim lining meets the bottom. Measure 1 inch in for the boxed bottom. This is what I mean, like she just is like, obviously you want to pet me, and it's like I don't actually at this very moment in time. You can literally go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Goodbye. 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 Thank you. She got it. Oh, get a clue. A 1 inch line from the top edge. Okay. Once again, get down. She's literally like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? I realize I'm doing like several steps at once, but it's just my preference. And something you can do to make sure that you've got that perfectly lined up is just slowly take your ruler along the edge. Like that. Okay. And we're gonna flip this over. I swear I thought you were about to throw up. Get off my table. Can I help you? You're just shedding everywhere. All right, we'll brush you later, okay? Okay, goodbye. Someone in my last live said, like, I know I need a break when even the cat pisses me off. And she's like, and Lauren, I can tell you need a break. And that is not inaccurate. However, right before I started that video, she hit me in the head. She like smacked me. And I was like, what is going on? So I was already like, excuse me. In my own house. Okay, run a strip of double-sided tape. We're gonna make some snips and nips. Snips and nips. Okay. I heavily rely on pictures when I've already read it. I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? Trimming down our seam allowances. I did do the little trick where I walked out of the seam allowance there, just because when I turned the pouch that goes in here, it felt not quite right. So, yeah. All right. Double-sided tape. And then cutting notches. Okay. Well above that stabilizer. I was like, how is my magnet sticking together? Well, it's because it's magnetic. Two magnets magneting together. All right, pockets look good. There's no part that's missing. Unsealed. We're gonna want to trim down the lining so that we ensure the fit is bellissima. Tape. This tape goes right above that line because we are folding to meet the line. I love double-sided tape. I love learning new things in bag making. I love selling bag making supplies. I love filming tutorials. I don't love cleaning up puke. And I don't love having to try to be consistent with a content schedule. Thank you. There's that. Also don't love trying to follow directions. I'm trying so hard. Okay. I'm just gonna cut through the top layers at the same time. These are small snips, y'all. Just like last time, just little ones. Okay. And then that valley location, we're making a snip. One of these sides is bigger than the other, I don't know why, but what's really cool about doing a drop-in is when that happens, you can adjust it. Usually. Is it ideal? No, it's not. But I think I just kind of cut it weird. Otherwise, things are lining up. So what I could potentially do is just kind of trim it to size, maybe? I don't know. It's gonna turn out, in the end, you know what it's gonna do? It's gonna hold things. So that's nice. But yeah, like magnets are lining up and everything, so we'll see. She is completely relaxed. I think she's watching Magic School Bus. Good job. We have had some exhausting days with family being in town for like 2 weeks straight, 2.5, 3, I don't know. She stopped going to pre-K slash daycare, so she's been working with me, and that's been hard, but she just wasn't getting enough out of pre-K anymore. She's so smart. So she will start kindergarten in a few months, and all will be well, and I'm just gonna keep cutting. Almost feel like it would be easier. No. I was like, sometimes my hand has trouble going back the other way quick enough, so I'm like, maybe if I just cut this angle first and then this angle next. But they're kind of hard to see, so maybe this will help, maybe it won't. I don't know. Okay, so we're not going to tape anything yet. We just wanted to do all that prep, but we want to align the bottom seam of the main lining with the side seams in order to box the corners, which we know how to do, and we can do that. So this is going to go at 3/8. Trim that down. Repeat that on the other side. Oh, hello, Bobbin. All right. I needed that. Thank you so much. Fuzz in my hair. Okay, so now we trimmed the boxed corners. Ensure your main lining bottom remains unsewn. We can do that, and then we're going to get our divider. Okay. And it doesn't matter which way any of this is going, but we do want to clip that into place. Okay. should fit nicely. Like a frickin' glove. Okay. We're gonna sew that at 3/8 and then trim. More double-sided tape after. Okay. Okay. And then you can smooth that divider lining back out. That's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of fun. It's not like completely divided, but it's divided well enough. That's fun. All right, so we're gonna open up this side here. We're gonna take our time. We're not in a hurry. I don't have to go pick her up from school. She's right here. No one's waiting on me. It's okay. All right, and then fold the vinyl down to meet that line. R.I.P. buddy. Poor overworked clip. Okay, and then if your curves just don't feel like they're sitting well enough, you can trim a little bit more. And then she says if things don't feel like they're sitting well, you just kind of fold that down to meet that 1-inch line over the interfacing. If the interfacing is high up. And this is just creating like an extra rigid edge, but it's weird because like when I did the lining, or the exterior I should say, things didn't feel like that. So I don't know. It's not a pattern issue, it's a me issue. It's always a me issue. So the top edge there is complete. So now what we're gonna do Now that your divider has been sewn into the bottom, roll the divider down into the main lining to keep it out of the way. Retrieve the bag exterior and determine which direction you would like your divider to close in relation to the front of the bag. Okay, well, I'm going to keep that up for a minute. But I did forget to add more tape. Your divider. Top stitch it. Okay. Okay, so front of the bag, close that way, yes. Okay. Yeah, I guess I did it correctly, so that's good. We're gonna line up those valleys. I'm just doing a quick rough fit to make sure I've got things cut correctly. We've come this far, we wanna make sure everything sits nicely. The colors are so pretty. I do wish this was the leopard, but I just didn't have enough. So, it is what it is. And what it is okay. Yeah, everything seems to fit just fine. The lining is nice inside the bag. Yeah. I just am obsessed with the bottom. I love this, like, almost square, almost squoval situation. I like it a lot. So we're gonna top stitch it, and we're gonna make some marks and add our rivets and then add our handles, and that's it. So we can do that. We can definitely accomplish this. So I'm gonna just start by peeling my tape paper, not the tape itself. So I can gently press this and make it so there's just one layer of clips. Also feel like this is open enough to be fine without using a cylinder arm. So long as you are taping, there shouldn't be any major shifting as you're top stitching. When you started bag making, did you think it would be 90% taping? Ooh. Yeah, I can see myself making more of the, well, okay, let me finish the bag before I start running my mouth, telling lies. Telling lies, yeah, that's a surprise. I just think it's really satisfying the way it came together. And I do enjoy a drop-in lining. And my tape is down low enough that I am gonna need to like pinch down there to really ensure that it stays together. Kind of interesting too because the lining is all square, but the exterior is oval. So I'm like, oh. All right, so now we want to fold that out of the way. Get our D-rings out of the way. We can clean up our clips. And then it says you just tie your threads off and tape it to a valley because you're going to end up folding that and riveting it to the zipper pouch. So long thread tails. Be careful when you're pulling your bobbin that you don't pull it too quickly and cause it to like backlash and mess up. Okay, starting there, my stitch length is longer. And just at the top of the bag. And just make sure that you're keeping an eye out for when you need to slowly pivot. Okay, I just looked over and I saw that my zipper pouch moved a little, but that's okay. I'm going to fold that back out of the way. We ended the same place we began, and we're gonna pull the thread. Nope, wrong one. Which one did I already pull? Okay, yeah, I had the right one at first. We want them out towards us. We're gonna tie together. Let me stick it down with some double sided tape. I don't know about that. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna line the ruler with the deepest part of the valley. Use this as your center. Gosh, it's so nice. Look how nice this looks. Excuse you. I have to shape that. Look at that. Look at that. All right, let's use my Janice pen. Measure 3/8, measure and mark 3/8 from the center and 1/2 inch down. Yeah. Here's the valley. I'm going 3/8, 1/2 inch and 3/8 down. Both sides. That's where I'm confused. Like, I get it, but I don't at the same time. It's also high stakes here. You know what I'm saying? All right, so there's a hole on each side. Yeah? Okay. Punch the rivet hole through both layers. Because then you're gonna fold them on itself. Okay? So let's focus on the side that we've taped. Okay? That's a 3/8 and a 1/2. 1/2 from the top, 3/8 from the side. 1/2 from the top, 3/8 from the side. And then that's what we're doing. Well, I don't want to do it. Yeah? Because if it's wrong, it's really wrong. You know? All right, we're going to trim the thread all the way. I'm going to singe it a little bit. Okay. And then you fold it in on itself. I did it. Clamp the folds to reduce the bulk. A rivet prong. Oh. Okay. So it's that to that. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make all these marks and punch the holes first. But we're not going to get too cocky with that, because we can take our time. Isn't it just wild though? You're like, how? How did you think of this? Oh my God, don't you tell me. Oh, okay, good. No! No, you're kidding me. Please tell me you're kidding me. I don't think I have light gold long rivets. Why would I not? What kind of monster? Might use rainbow. I think it would look cool. But before I do that, I'm gonna look. Nope, those are regular. What the heck? What the heck? All right, I'll use rainbow. Baby box. Are we gonna get through this? No, we're not. I can feel that like drying out quickly if I leave it open the way I was, so don't do that. Okay. That's all four. I think the rainbow is gonna look really cool with this. However, I'm pretty mad at myself. We need 4 of them. Also just remembered, I don't know if I have a kit for this on the website, because I'm the one in charge of making kits and everything else. Okay. So I'm starting that in one side. You're gonna fold it in. There we go. Fold it in on itself. No, the fold goes into the large section. So there is kind of a right and wrong way of doing it, right? Yeah, prong through the divider. Out the front. And the 9x12 works, so don't use all thick vinyl. Gonna have some problems on that side. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, so prong through the divider. Fold to the side and in. In the one side, I almost feel like if there was a way this could be like I mean not, but like a grommet of sorts is kind of fun too, in a way. And like I realize I'm gonna have to resituate things, but I just want to get a feel for it and breathe for a second. That fold is going to go to the dividing side. Did I peel that tape? Yeah, I did. Okay. It's like an NCW bag. Yeah, this other side is going to be a bitch to do with this clay vinyl. Not bad. Not terrible anyway. But yeah, there you can see, like, when you're making it, those slip pockets feel so small, but it makes sense in the end. Now obviously those aren't clipped together, but they will be. Let me just get a better camera angle, because it said like you almost want to get your rivet press inside the bag. Well, that's not too terrible. There we go. I got the bottom in. I'm not letting go. Top is on. Clamp. Good. Good. Secure. And just take some breaths as you're doing it. Undo the snaps, because those are going to fight you. Okay, yeah, it's not terrible. Got that in there. Does take quite a bit of hand strength though. It's good. Okay. I'm just like, and we haven't added handles yet? All right, post in through the divider. And then the fold goes towards the divider. So you're gonna go through one side. Yeah. Through the other side. Dang it. And then cap. And you're gonna wanna feel that kind of stick together. So we'll do that one now. Okay, and then our last one. Where did it go? Oh, I stuck it in already. All right, and the divider. Okay, so we'll see if I can get this. Post in through the divider. Here is our magnetic snap section. Our fold is going to be pointing towards that. You can unclip it. We're going to put the post in. Press it down. And then back through. And then add the cap. There's a handheld cam snap press that Jess has. I'm tempted to order myself one. I don't know if it would be any more helpful in this instance, but I'm just kind of, it's like the NCW wing where you just have to like hold on to everything, get it in there. it. Yes, yes, feels good. Okay, I'm moving that, but we're probably gonna need it to add the handles, but kind of just want to take a moment and let this be what it is at the moment. Wow, it's so cool. Very happy with my materials selected. I think they're fitting together really nicely. Okay. Then measure 1 inch from the front seam and mark it both 1/2 and 1.5 from the top edge of the bag. Punch, rivet, holes. 1 inch from the seam. This is the front seam. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, okay. I skipped ahead. I sure did. I sure did. All right, 1 inch from the front seam. That one just feels easier for me right now. Mark it both 1/2 inch. Okay. Up there? Yeah, okay. And 1.5. Okay. Okay. Yep, I did that. So in the tester group, she explained that she had made it where, like, she had it in on one side and out on the other. And so I thought that could be kind of fun. And like how this side is mostly this, I thought it might be fun to have the handles in opposite. I don't know, we'll see. We can play with that. Let's just get our measurements done first. Okay. I'm really, really sorry I am saying measurements, but that is because I don't believe there is any chance in hell that anyone who watches my channel would try to make up these pattern pieces and make it without purchasing the pattern. I'm so sorry if that is not the case and you are doing that, but also, like, kudos to you. Why? Just no, thank you. Wham bam, no, thank you, ma'am. Okay, but we want to be careful that we get these right because this is it. This is one of the final pieces to this bag. All that's left is zipper end, zipper pull. We got 4 rivets to add. Like, let's not muck it up. We've come so far. So we're gonna need 8 rivets for the handles. I was gonna count and now I'm not. Conserving my energy. Oh, I just love the base. 2 or 6. Okay, good, we got enough of those. Like, I just love that. It feels substantial and sturdy and all those good things. Okay, we gotta punch these holes. I've already got those holes punched. Make sure we're not going through our divider, anything like that. I do think this bag would be cool, printed at like 130%. I think I saw somebody printed it. It's a gorgeous size the way it is, but I think it would be a nice bag, even bigger too. But I think it's a very trendy size, just the way it is. Okay, time to play. Did I get them all? Okay, so this side is mostly leopard. So I think it could be fun to have it like rainbow into okay. This might have been a good place for the XL rivets too. It's so funny, last night when I was reading the pattern, I was like, wait, where did the D-rings go? Like, it happened so long ago. Then I'm like, wait, where's the crossbody strap? What? Okay, there we go. Okay, so it's like it's coming from the leopard side to the non-leopard side. I do think you could also add a D-ring out here for a bag charm as well. Okay, and then remember, these aren't set, so we can change our mind. But then we've got it coming from the blurple side to the leopard side. I like it a lot. I think it's fun. Little avant-garde. But we want to make sure that our handle isn't twisted. And I actually think like this would be a great place to add that D-ring. I don't want to, but that would be like a cool little key hanger inside the bag. I don't know, I just feel like it's so small that maybe you wouldn't want to do that, but let me go ahead and put on my zipper pull. Maybe I'll feel differently. You want to be really careful that you get that lined up perfectly, or your zipper panel inside is going to sit weird. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Oh no, did it die? I never recorded anything. I never hit record. How did I not realize that? I thought I was. Maybe it died. Did that die? What's good enough? It's what we're settling for in life. It's what we're striving for. Okay, I'm gonna set those. We're gonna add our zipper end here. I like the big chunky zipper end myself. Tuck that in. Oh, it's so cute. Add that crossbody strap. The crossbody strap doesn't feel as substantial as the bag is, but I think it looks really cute with it. Of course, it's a nice size, but I think you could also do 1.5 inch webbing if you wanted. I might add that D-ring. I haven't set my rivets just yet, so I can make that change. But overall, I'm so excited. Okay, I was like, is it dead again? I'm so excited to have conquered this bag. I've wanted to make it since she posted the tester call. I just can't. I can't. It's so cute. I love the curves of it, you know? It's so cute. And like with the handles, there's so many different opportunities. The structure is beautiful. I'd be curious how different Decaville Light felt compared to the Profuse, but still beautiful. I'm like, do I add a D-ring and like tassel to the outside? Do I do like one D-ring inside and one D-ring? Oh, I could do 2 D-rings on the outside, but maybe that's too much dangle. But I like the idea of a tassel because it would just zhuzh it a little more, you know? Anyway, that's for me to decide. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you later. Bye. Did you make it this far? I didn't think I would. All right, Dorothy, I finished it. What do you think? Dorothy, I finished it. What do you think?
I'm gonna go upstairs really quick I need help getting the box.
No chips.
What?
No more chips.
What?
No more chips. Get a different snack. Have your peanut butter crackers.
You said I could have another.
No, I said you could pick a different snack. You weren't listening. Maybe. Oh, shit.